Have you ever looked at a photo of yourself and felt a strange discomfort, as if that image wasn't really you? Perhaps you even thought, I didn't like how I looked, but deep down, the discomfort is something more profound than just a matter of angle, light, or expression. It's as if something is missing there, something only you can feel, as if your essence was left out. For many people, this goes unnoticed, but for those who are chosen, it tends to be a constant, almost painful feeling. What many do not understand is that this feeling is not related to vanity or insecurity. Those who are spiritually sensitive, who carry a different purpose, feel a distance between what appears in the photo and the truth they carry within themselves. The body is there, still, captured by pixels. But your energy, your mission, your light, remain beyond the lens. It is as if there is a veil, an invisible barrier, that prevents the camera from capturing what is most real about you, your soul. You feel you are here for a greater reason. You sense that you carry an energy that does not fit into patterns, that sometimes disturbs environments, that cannot be translated into forced smiles. Therefore, that strangeness when seeing your image is not just a detail, it is a sign that your path is different, that your presence in the world cannot be explained by appearance. And if you are chosen, you know how difficult it is to feel represented by something as superficial as a photograph. It is as if your truth is too great to fit into that frame. In this video, I want to speak directly to you who feels this difference. I want to talk about the true meaning of this discomfort, to show you that you are not alone, and that there is indeed a spiritual explanation for all of this. Throughout the video, we will explore together 7 points that can help you understand why your image seems to never match what you feel inside, and how this flaw can actually be your greatest protection. And before continuing, I want to ask you one thing. Only follow this channel if, by the end of the video, you feel that it truly speaks to your soul. I do not ask for numbers or vanity, but because this space is for those seeking to grow, spiritually strengthen, and connect with other chosen ones. Feel, reflect, and if you find truth here, then join us. Many people have gone through that strange moment of looking at a photo and feeling that something is missing. You know that sensation of not recognizing yourself there. It happens to everyone from time to time, but for those who are chosen, the discomfort seems deeper, almost as if there is a distance between the image that was captured and who you really are. While for others it may just be a matter of disliking the angle or the smile, those who are spiritually sensitive feel this difference in a different way. The photo shows the physical side, just what is on the outside. But within the chosen, there is a very particular energy, a vibration that an ordinary lens cannot capture. The camera is an incredible technology, but it only records what is visible. It captures the skin, the gaze, a moment, but it cannot translate the depth of your soul, the unique glow of your life mission, or the lightness of the energy you carry, even when no one else notices. If you feel this discomfort when looking at your own photos, know that this is not vanity or a perfectionist obsession. It is a natural reaction from those who perceive that what is most beautiful and true about them cannot fit into a simple image. For the chosen especially, this is even more evident, because the mission is great and the energy is rare. How many times have you seen a photo of yourself and thought, "This isn't me"? It's as if your presence, your truth, cannot fit into that portrait. The world sometimes expects us to fit into what is visible, but what is invisible in you is precisely what makes you special, what separates you from the crowd. This disconnection between what the camera shows and what you feel inside yourself is not a defect. On the contrary, it is a sign that your journey is different, that your spiritual path is under construction. Your light, your mission, your essence are still being revealed, and nothing that is deep is exposed all at once. For the chosen one, looking at a photo can even provoke a momentary sadness or doubt. Will no one ever see who I really am? This answer sometimes seems invisible to outsiders, but for those who feel it, it screams inside. You know you came for something greater. You feel it in the little things. Photos are fragments, records of a second. However, your energy is not fragmented. It is movement, transformation. It is something alive. Therefore, no matter how well taken the photo is, it will always lack that something more. That glow that only you feel, that meaning that only your soul knows. Many chosen ones end up trying to force themselves to fit into others' expectations, thinking that the discomfort with their own image is a problem. But in fact, it is a discreet reminder that there is another plan under construction, that there is a greater internal truth than any portrait can show right now. If photos never show you fully, it is because your mission has not yet finished being revealed. Perhaps a transformation is taking place within you, something subtle that will only become visible to the world later. What matters is not the appearance that gets recorded, but rather the truth you feel growing inside, even when no one sees it. Life experiences leave deep marks within each person. For those who are chosen, these marks can be even more intense because spiritual sensitivity amplifies everything. Traumas, criticisms, and rejections from the past end up creating invisible layers that protect, but at the same time, hide who you truly are. Since childhood, we are exposed to gazes, judgments, and words that often affect us more than we imagine. A harsh word, an unfair comparison, or a gesture of rejection can turn into internal wounds. These episodes accumulate, and over time, they begin to shape our way of seeing life and how we perceive ourselves. These wounds do not only appear in thoughts or emotions. They manifest silently in posture, in the gaze, in the way of smiling. And all of this is captured by the camera. Thus, when someone takes a photo of you, often what appears there is the mask created by fear, pain, or insecurity, not your original essence. The chosen feel this weight even more clearly. It is not just dissatisfaction with what they see in the photo, but a feeling that something essential is missing. The image conveyed is of someone who carries unresolved stories and pains that have not yet been overcome. This can generate a discomfort that is difficult to explain, even to oneself. As the years go by, these masks become almost automatic. You face the world protecting your wounds, wearing armors created to withstand new criticisms or rejections. Still, in the silence of the soul, you know that your true light is there, waiting for a moment of freedom and healing. When we look at a photo, we often see only the physical portrait. But for the chosen, each image also reveals the inner battle, the unresolved conflicts, the camouflaged insecurities, the fears that have not been overcome. Instead of representing your truth, the photograph ends up showing only a protected version, adapted to survive. Recognizing these wounds is not a simple task. It requires courage, humility, and the willingness to look within, even if it hurts. The healing process begins when the chosen accept their own pains, understand their story, and realize that they no longer need to hide or protect themselves behind invisible masks. Taking this step is essential for the true essence to begin to emerge, first for oneself, then for the world. As you embrace and treat your wounds, you become lighter, more whole. This shines through in your gaze, in your smile, in your presence, and gradually, even in photos, which start to reveal pieces of that light that has always existed within you. When the masks begin to fall, something new happens. You see yourself with more compassion and realize that you no longer need to meet old expectations or follow patterns imposed by the past. Inner freedom brings the courage to be authentic, to show your soul to the world without fear of judgment or rejection. Photos may still not capture all the details of your essence, but they no longer disturb you as much. The reflection that appears in them becomes more true, closer to what you actually feel. This is a sign that your healing process is progressing and that your light is beginning to be seen. The path to revealing your essence goes through embracing your own pains. Every difficult experience can be transformed into learning and strength. The chosen are not defined by their wounds, but by the courage to heal and to show themselves to the world, little by little, without hiding who they really are. Recognizing your own masks is the first step to allowing your light to shine. When the inner self aligns with the truth, the external image becomes just another reflection, not a prison. Your greatness grows, and your true identity finally begins to appear, unafraid, in photos and in life. Everything around us leaves marks on our energy. For those who are chosen, this is even more visible and felt, as the sensitivity is extreme. Being in charged environments, living surrounded by negative people, or dealing daily with manipulations can change the way you see yourself. Sometimes just a few minutes in a bad place can make you feel pressure in your body and your thoughts becoming cloudy. When you are the target of manipulations, aggressive criticism, or even jealousy, it's hard to come out unscathed. These experiences do not simply fade away when you leave the environment. Often they continue to weigh inside you. It's as if the soul absorbs energetic residues that sooner or later become visible in some way, even in photographs. The face, the gaze, and even the small expressions of the body carry reflections of this energy. The people around you who do not wish you well, places where the atmosphere is always heavy, and situations where there is competition or deceit, all of this accumulates. For those who are sensitive to the spiritual world, the sum of these experiences transforms the vibration and leaves the impression that there is a veil between you and those who observe you. Just pay attention on days when you feel good. Your face appears more illuminated, your smile lighter, and even photographs seem to show another person. On the other hand, after bad situations, it's common to feel overshadowed, tired, or even strange when looking at a recent image of yourself. It's your energy being recorded there, more than any physical trait. The chosen deeply feel the effects of the energies that surround them. It's not an exaggeration, it's perception. Absorbing these burdens is part of the price of carrying greater sensitivity. However, few people notice how much this interferes with self-image and presence. The spiritual world leaves traces that the physical world does not explain, but you feel it, and it shows. Often, what you see in a photograph is not just you. It's layers of that accumulated energy, marks from a heavy environment, memories of situations that have stirred your spiritual field. The result is a more closed expression, a distant gaze, a faded smile. It's not your essence, but the weight that became ingrained after passing through certain places or being around certain people. Staying energetically clean is a constant challenge for the chosen. Dealing with the emotions of others, with silent pressures, and even unspoken feelings, requires discipline and self-awareness. Sometimes using simple techniques, such as prayer, mindful breathing, or voluntary silence, already makes a difference, as it helps dissolve the excess accumulated energy. Thought itself influences your energetic field. Nurturing guilt, fear, or anger only darkens the aura further, which reflects not only in your disposition, but even in your appearance. The chosen must double the care for what they think, feel, and receive from the world around them. After all, Every recorded thought also shapes how you present yourself, even in front of a camera. On the other hand, being with kind-hearted people and staying in pleasant environments revitalizes, restores the sparkle in your gaze and lightness in your smile. Small changes in routine already start to transform how you feel and perceive yourself. The exterior will always reflect, in some way, what you carry on the inside. The sensitivity of the chosen is a gift, but also an invitation to responsibility. Cultivating your own energy is not only self-protection, but also a way to rediscover your true image, without the weights the world tried to place upon you. Thus, each portrait begins to rescue who you really are, free, authentic, and light. Spiritual fatigue is a type of weariness that does not show up in tests and is not always understood by those around. For those who are chosen, this weight can become almost visible. You feel a fatigue that goes beyond the physical, a kind of absence, a silence deep in the soul that no one notices when looking from the outside. This exhaustion does not arise by chance. It grows with each internal battle, each unresolved thought, each doubt about one's own path. The chosen carry a mission, but along with it come questions, challenges, pressures, and often that feeling of walking alone, even when surrounded by people. External battles, such as family responsibilities, work, social expectations, and even collective problems, also drain energy. Daily life leaves marks, and when there is no time or space to recharge, exhaustion settles in deeply. The body may become accustomed to it, but the soul begins to show clear signs of exhaustion. These signs go far beyond physical fatigue. There are days when everything seems harder, when smiles feel forced, and even presence seems dull. Looking at a photo taken during these moments, we almost always notice a distant gaze, a dimmed sparkle, a presence that seems to want to hide. The camera captures a body, but the soul is murmuring for rest. Many chosen ones notice that they become unrecognizable in images during periods of deep fatigue. It does not matter how hard they try to look good. The expression reveals the weight carried. The face may appear tense, the gaze withdrawn, the energy diminished. Sometimes they cannot even explain it, but they feel as if they simply are not really there. This disconnection becomes even more evident when we look at a photo from times when we were happy and light. The difference is glaring. Deep down, this shows how the soul speaks, even when we do not say anything. Its essence does not fade, but becomes dormant when tired, waiting for the moment to awaken and reveal itself again. Recognizing spiritual fatigue is an important step. It is not weakness to admit that you feel exhausted. It is part of the journey to learn to respect yourself in these moments, to seek renewal by silencing, resting, praying, or simply being close to what makes sense to the soul. This pause is necessary to regain brightness, to rediscover one's own presence. The most important thing is to remember that these phases pass, and the disconnection shown in photos does not define who you are. On the contrary, it reveals that even when tired, your essence is still there, waiting for the right moment to vibrate intensely again. The image may point to exhaustion, but the truth is that with care and reconnection, your shine returns even stronger. There are moments in life when the chosen looks at photos and feels that they are not there. It seems strange, as if there is a distance between who you are inside and the image that appears. For many people, this is a source of frustration, but there is a profound meaning behind this feeling, something that goes beyond common understanding. God has a special way of guiding and protecting those He chooses for greater missions. The period in which you do not recognize yourself in photos, or feel that no one sees who you really are, is part of the sacred process of preparation. It's like a seed planted under the ground. It is growing, strengthening, and transforming away from everyone's eyes. During this time of concealment, God is not rejecting you. On the contrary, He is preparing you, ensuring that your true essence is only revealed when it is ready, firm, and protected. Often, the invisible is also the greatest form of protection. While you feel erased from the gaze of others, there is an internal work happening with your soul. This protection is necessary because the world is often not ready to receive the full light of a chosen one. Exposing yourself before the time can bring wear, misunderstanding, and even spiritual attacks that you are not yet ready to face. God, in His wisdom, hides the true beauty and strength of the chosen until they are prepared to carry the responsibility of their mission. During this process, it is normal to doubt, want to fit in, or feel out of place. But all of this is shaping you, strengthening you, and polishing you so that, in due time, you can show who you really are without fear, without armor, and without needing to hide. Your worth is not in what they see in you today, but in what God is forming little by little, with patience and care. Allow yourself to live this time of invisibility with humility and trust. The moment to reveal yourself will come, and when it does, it will be natural, light, and impossible to ignore. Until then, know that concealment is love, it is care, it is preparation, and your essence, protected by God, will be shown to the world when it is ready to shine. There is a right time for everything, including the moment when the true light of the chosen will be revealed to the world. Often the feeling of not seeing yourself in photos is just a reflection that something grand is still being built within you. It's like an artist working in silence, shaping their work before presenting it to the public. During this process, it can be difficult to understand why your essence doesn't seem to appear, no matter how hard you try. You look at your own image and feel that it lacks color, emotion, and truth. But what is not seen is the invisible movement happening in the soul, in silence, away from everyone's eyes. Gradually, each experience, overcoming, scar, and learning is polishing the unique shine that only you carry. When the time of revelation arrives, everything begins to make sense. What was once veiled finally shows itself, and the strength of your presence can no longer be ignored. Those who observe you, even without understanding everything you have been through, feel something different, because the true light cannot be extinguished, muffled, or hidden forever. Those who are chosen notice in this new phase that they no longer need to worry as much about appearance, acceptance, or standards. Your presence becomes so striking that it overflows even in photographs. The gaze gains life, the smile has sincerity, and the energy that did not appear before begins to manifest in a way that no one can explain, but everyone feels. You will notice that the truth of your soul will be perceived in every expression, every attitude, every small gesture. Nothing will be able to hide what is real, for your essence, once safeguarded and protected, now finds the world ready to illuminate the paths around you. The camera, the images, everything becomes secondary to the internal truth that finally allows itself to be seen. Trust in the timing of this process. What is being built within you is grand, and when your light comes to the surface, all who cross your path will feel the impact of this living presence. No lens will be enough to hide who you were born to be, a source of light, inspiration, and truth. Choosing to walk as a sensitive person with a mission and purpose is not a simple path. Looking at yourself and not recognizing yourself in photos can be painful. But throughout everything we've discussed, it's clear. This strangeness is not a mistake or a failure on your part. It is, in fact, an essential stage for those being prepared for something greater. Many people only see the surface and allow themselves to be measured by what is apparent. The chosen, on the other hand, learn to dive deep, to understand that invisibility, fatigue, or the feeling of inadequacy say more about the internal process than about the real value that exists there. There is beauty in every phase of concealment and every silent struggle. These experiences prepare you for moments of greater light and strength. Being concealed often seems like a punishment, but it is protection and preparation. God guards those He is forming, covering them under the mantle of anonymity until it is safe to show the world something different, something that goes beyond the image. In this waiting, each scar is treated, each wound is given space to heal. When the time to reveal comes, you not only appear, but you shine. Remember, no portrait, no camera, no limited opinion can tell who you truly are. The value of a chosen one does not fit in frames. Your essence, shaped by challenges, lessons, and an intimate journey with God, is greater than any external expectation. The invisible is now the foundation of the visible that is to come. Allow yourself to walk calmly on this path. Look at yourself with generous eyes. Be patient with your own process, even on the days when it seems that nothing changes. Feel proud to be someone who is built from the inside out, with truth and dedication. Now, if this message has touched your soul, be part of the channel and continue this journey with us. Here, every word is built to welcome, strengthen, and illuminate your journey as a chosen one. We don't want to be just another space. We want to be the safe place for those who, like you, are ready to shine when the time comes.